Perry, and you are tuned into Gospel in the Air.
Thank you for tuning in to the Indie Artist Spotlight on GITA Radio. I am your host, Lakeisha Wingo, and today we have special guest Trayvon Perry. Trayvon, thank you so much for being with us today.
No problem. I'm elated to be here with you guys.
Oh, thank you. So let's just talk. Let's talk about the man. Let's talk about the man that's maximizing his potential. You mentioned in the conversation earlier that you are used the phrase "I am." It's one of my absolute favorite phrases. Let us know who you are.
I am a servant first and foremost. I am a son of God. I'm a father. I'm a full-time worker. I'm a full-time business owner. I'm a full-time servant of the Lord. I'm out here just getting to it. Whatever the Lord is calling my hands to do, I'm just trying to keep busy, stay working.
Oh, that is so great to hear. Now you mentioned music as being your first love from when you were just a little boy.
Yes.
So how did you gain the inspiration? How did you find the gumption to just go for it, even at such a young age?
Well, I grew up in a musically inclined home. My aunt was a gospel artist and had a choir. We sung in church. We went around to other people's churches singing, as we all do who grew up in church. So I was introduced to music first and foremost from childhood. I took a liking to it, a strong liking to it, and I started at a very tender age, learning that I had the ability to write music. And, I didn't know why. I didn't know it was a gift. I didn't know that it was something that was God given. I was just doing it. I used to line my teddy bears up and put the coat rack on the clothesline hanger and put coats on hangers and line them up and act like those were people singing behind me. And I was writing all of these songs and all of these things like that and performing live in front of an audience, not knowing that one day I would be doing that. So, it's real interesting how God used the foolish things to confide in the wise. I was doing some foolish stuff, but I had no idea of what was to come, really.
Absolutely. So your music has actually been able to bless and heal. Right now you have a song called Hands Up, which you said also led to a radio show.
Yes, absolutely. Hands Up. I wrote that several years ago. We recorded it. At first, nothing happened when we first recorded it because I didn't know the business. I didn't know the ins and outs, how to get it to radio, things like that. Long story short, once I got it on radio and it started taking off, it opened up some doors for me. And, I had an opportunity to come to do radio. And that's what I decided to call the show Hands Up Radio Show because, when everybody saw me, it was like, hey, that's Hands Up. That's Hands Up. That's Hands Up. I didn't even have a name anymore. It was Mr. Hands Up.
Sure.
I was being named, around locally. So I decided to name that after the radio show. And, since that time, we have interviewed very prominent people, such as Darius McQuarrie who played Eddie Winslow on Family Matters, John P. Key, Todd Gabriel, Jabari Johnson, Charles Jenkins, Ernest Pugh, just to name a few. So many comes to mind that I'm drawing a blank. But, we've been blessed, and Todd Delaney, we've been blessed to have pioneers like these guys on the show to come on an interview with me. And doing radio opened up doors that I could have never even imagined on my own, doing with just me doing music. It opened up more doors than my music did at the time. And at first I was a little discouraged by it because I'm like, yo, it was supposed to be the music to connect me to this person and that person and this person. And I heard God pretty much like in my ear say, "Hey, don't worry about how you get there, son. Just get there. I'm gonna use things that you never even could have fathomed, getting you to the next level.
Yes.
And that's gonna be the thing that takes you over the top. So whatever I'm telling you to do, just do it." And I really, really gotta say, from that point to this point, everything my hands touch, it seemed like it turned to gold. I do a clothing line. I get a plethora of people interested and want to buy and want to support it. And these are people that aren't family. People don't know me that well, or people herself that may have saw me out of town somewhere and just wanted to support. And that was God reassuring me to say, yeah, when I give you something, this is why you do it, because I'll bless you with people who don't even know you. Absolutely. I'll use people to bless you and sow into you that don't even know you, don't know what it took for you to be where you are, don't know what way you came and how I delivered you. I'll use those people to sow into you. And this is what I want to encourage anyone who may be doing something in life and you may be discouraged because you feel like the people that should support don't support. It never works out that way. The people that would supposed to love you, sometimes they don't. The people that supposed to support you, sometimes they don't. But so what? Dust your shoulders off, keep working. And if God called you to do it, watch how he bless it. And that's usually how it goes, sis. When others outside, accept you and big you up, then the people who know you from childhood, oh, that's one of ours. They didn't support you when you was back in the city, but now that the world has accepted you, now they want to accept you. But just keep doing the work. As long as God has called you to do it, he's going to send people in your corner to be faithful. Even the people that sit all the way down to the people that's been faithful and dedicated to my ministry. None of them are family members except one, who is my brother, who is my musical director. But for the longest time, not even that was the case. Everybody who's been faithful, whether they're from musicians to singers, they were outsiders.
And I applaud you for taking that and still running with what God has given you and continuing on in your vision. So as we are making our way through this pandemic, how have you had to shift?
Just like everyone else had to shift. I was already doing things virtually, so it wasn't too much of a big shift there. Yeah. It's just like, now you got to do it professionally, which is, I did a virtual concert. I don't know if you checked it out just yet, but it's on my page. We just had to start doing things a whole lot more professional. Yeah. And, just grinding, keeping my foot to the pedal, doing music and things of that nature, just keeping myself busy. God gave me Strength Talk in the midst of the pandemic, and that's where myself, along with pioneers in the industry from E1, Stan Jones, Jabari Johnson, Charles Perry, Ernest Pugh, Titus Showers, Kenny Lewis, Lonnie Hunter, just name a few, all of these gospel giants, Keith Wonderboy Johnson, that we all get together and we pour in to the people who are coming up and trying to do some of the things that these guys have already done. Yes. Or what better way to get where you're trying to go as to ask a person who knows what it takes to get there. Absolutely. You don't ask directions to someone who don't know how to get to your destination. Absolutely. The only reason why I would ask you, sis, is how you get to such and such, is if I know you may live there or you've been by there. You can give me the direction. So this is what we do. We pour back into people. And ever since we've been doing the Strength Talk, which started since the pandemic started last year, God has been blessing us every month that we do it to have, thousands watch it, from 10K to 12K, on a normal basis. Those are the people that tune in genuinely. We're not doing a concert. We're not singing. We're not dancing. We're not doing anything. We're just simply talking and giving nuggets and gems. And 10K and 12K of people are logging on to be blessed and to get some information.
Absolutely. Oh, that sounds great. You are doing some amazing work for the Lord. And as we close this interview, what do you want people to leave knowing about Trayvon Perry?
That I'm a passionate person, and that let me be an example to your wildest dreams come to fruition. I'm a person that was not supposed to even be where I am now. Um, people expected this from other people around me, but not me. My brothers and sisters, and you know, who have way more talent than I do. I mean, like, these dudes can sing, and they're phenomenal. And I still, always think, like, I'm just kin to the most wonderful of people in the world. And I never hated on anybody. I always celebrated and rejoiced. But God said, no, no, son, I've also gave you something to do too. You're not just the Trayvon the thug that can beat up everybody, that messes with your family. I also instilled some valuable gifts and anointing in you as well. And if you learn to tap into that untapped into potential,
Yeah.
you'll see how far great you are. You really, really are on the inside. And so I want to just be that example for those, and let them know that you can be whatever it is God has called you to be as well. I don't care where you are now. You know what I'm saying? Tap into your untapped into potential. Find out what your purpose is in life. Pray about it. Fast if you have to. Do whatever you have to do.
Yeah.
And tap into that thing and do that thing. And from that one thing, everything else is going to open. I didn't start off saying I want to do a radio show, have a clothing line. I just started off saying I just want to do music. I want to teach these songs to my friends, and we gonna sing these songs. I didn't know how long the group was gonna go on for or anything. I didn't think that far ahead. I just wanted to do what was in my heart to do. And from that came a radio show. And from that came the clothing line. And from that came us being on Billboard charts for top 100 for Hands Up and Strong Victory. And from that came a radio promoting business. And from that came this and that and that and this, and thus being me being here talking with you today. So when you find your purpose, usually your purpose is already something you've been doing all your life.
Yes.
Music was already in me from day one. For someone else, it may be cooking. You may have been cooking from since you were 9 years old, and everybody say, "Can't nobody make a steak like you? Can't nobody make a cheeseburger like you? Can't nobody make some fries like you?" That may be what it is that God is calling you to do full time, and maximize your opportunity, maximize your gifts, and then opportunities will come. I believe as you're living in your purpose, the doors will start opening.
You are so right. Well, again, I thank you so much for being on here with me today. And I look forward to many more conversations in the future.
Hey, you guys.
Sure.
This is gospel recording artist Tashay Sias, and you are tuned in at GITA Radio.
Thank you for tuning in to the Indie Artist Spotlight with Gospel in the Air, GITA Radio. Today we have Miss Tashay Sias. Hello, Tashay. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. So, what is the one thing that you would like for our listeners to take away from your interview today?
They can keep moving forward no matter what comes their way, and to for them to hear my story and to see that I have never let anything stop me, no matter if I had to lose everything to gain everything. But I just want them to just be encouraged to know that they can achieve their goals and be able to live their dreams.
You have been a professional pivoter. Tell us about some of the pivots that you've had to take in your life.
2 years ago, me and my children lost everything in the fire. I was actually singing praise and worship. Um, right when after I had sat down from doing praise and worship, I had just got a call that I lost my house in a fire. My house was on fire. By the grace of God, days before, one of my friends had gave me a break and came and got my children from me and gave me a break. So thank God they wasn't at the house, because at the time I was actually taking care of my mom and she was at the house, and normally she would have had one of my her grandkids with her at the time of the fire. That um and so, but that day, I'm telling you, even though it was a tragic situation, that was basically the best days of my life, and that's when my life turned for the better. And I believed, even around the time when the fire happened, I had already been praying for God to do something new in me and my children's life. I was feeling stuck. I was feeling complacent where I was at. And God used the fire to take me out of that dry place and to put me in a better place of consistency, a better place of stability, a better place of moving forward into the visions and the dreams that I have always had in my life. And it's when even God took me and my children out of poverty, and we never even went back to that place of being, wondering where we was going to be at, wondering where I was going to be able to feed them. God put us in a better place. And so sometimes we can go through certain situations, but God can use it as a testimony to be the same, be the same thing that can take you out of what you've been asking God to do all this time. So yes, ma'am.
So tell us about some of those dreams that you had.
So I had dreams of me doing music full time, which I actually was able to do it. I had actually, before the fire, I had released my song "You Never Left Me," and so and basically God had me to actually live out what "You Never Left Me" meant.
Yeah.
Basically. And so, and then I've always had the dreams of going back to school. And so that's what God allowed me to do. I moved to Waco, Texas, and was able to get a full scholarship at MCC. I was able to do jazz, one of my dreams that I've always imagined doing. And being able, I never would have thought that I was going to be the outstanding student recipient at the school. And I'm so happy that I can finally share this news for once in my life, that I actually will be a professor at the school. This in January coming up, I'll be starting be over the gospel choir. They put me over the gospel choir. I'll be a adjunct professor
Oh,
at the
that
school.
is
So I
awesome.
never would have thought. Now I never thought that the professor, me being a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
was going to come out of my dreams coming to pass. But the school saw fit to see a gift in me while I was there. I had dreams of vocal producing for the school, writing for the school, and it's exactly what God allowed me to do. And I mean, I just never thought I would be able to, do this at a college level.
Yes.
So I mean, I'm just saying, you can have these dreams, but God can actually put extra like percentage or what have you, like he can expedite or even make it bigger and better of what you want to receive, you know,
Absolutely.
you know. So it's exactly what God is doing, and so I'm excited, and I can't wait to even share it with the
Mm-hmm.
world what God is about to do.
Mm-hmm.
you know, so it's just a fulfilling job. I love it, what I do. I just love it.
So let's talk about your song, You Never Left Me.
Yes, ma'am. You Never Left Me. This song was actually birthed back in 2009.
Okay.
And I finally had the chance to record it. And this was around the time I was in the shelter. Um, had to been like back in 2017, and I finally had released it in 2018. It's been actually in a film called Shadow Love. And also, it's been nominated for several awards. I actually received the Song of the Year for the Kill Gospel Awards back in 2018, actually 2019 while I was in school.
Okay.
And this song is still being played now. People love this song. And I just didn't know that because the song is very jazzy,
Mhm.
and I used to really like. I'm very the way I write songs, the way I arrange songs. I used to be very insecure because I didn't think people would be able to receive, the way I do certain things because it doesn't sound like everybody else. And so I finally had embraced back in 2018. I had really started to embrace my creativity, and to know that this song has been an impact on people's lives. That I've get calls from people and inboxes from people about this song. But this song was basically after I had got out of a bad abusive relationship, and this song is what I wanted it basically to be a domestic violence theme. And
Sure.
so I remember getting a call from this big organization in Killeen, Texas for domestic violence, and I was able to sing that song.
Okay.
Um, and I'm also now an advocate for domestic violence. This lady named Serena, who is a known gospel artist in Florida, basically they have that to be their theme song now. And
Okay.
I'm just, "You Never Left Me" song is it's a song that I will never forget because that's basically what God used to help me to overcome what I was going through. And I just hope that when people hear this song, that they will listen to the words and that they will receive every word, even with my runs and all that kind of stuff. But
Yes.
impactfully, it's a good song lyrically, and basically my testimony of how God never left me.
So, how did it make you feel knowing that your testimony in the form of song has been able to help others to overcome things that they're going through?
It's very overwhelming in an amazing way because I'm very raw. I decided when I had turned my life over to God that I was going to be transparent as possible. Um, I was going to be very transparent and open to women, and to everybody. And I realized that me being truthful have pulled people out of their situation. And so just knowing that I had to go through in order to save somebody else, you know, I never thought, when I was going through my mess, I never knew that I was going through for other people. And so just to know that um, people are impacted in a good way and that it affects them in a good way and it makes me be an example for them. It just, I don't even know how to, I'm just speechless.
Sure.
I want to cry about it right now. Like it just makes me want to cry sincerely and to continue to keep open up and sharing my story with people, because it's making an impact in this world, and that's what I want, is to make an impact to somebody.
Absolutely. Oh, so now I would like for you to let all of our listeners and our viewers know how we can find you.
You can find me on IG and Facebook at Tashay Sias Music, which is TAUSHEYSIAS Music. And also, if you want to follow me on the Vocal Lab page, it's across the board Vocal Lab Coach on IG and Vocal Lab Coach on Facebook as well. I also have a website which is booktashay.com. It has my recording artistry on the first page of the website, and then you also see the Vocal Lab page on the second site as well. And also, if you want to book me, you can book me at Applause Management LLC at gmail.com, which is John Baker is my manager,
Okay.
and we look forward to getting any calls or um, just inquiries from you guys. And I love to do your virtual concert. Also, I got new music coming out that's coming out in the new year, and I'm also my new album is coming out as well. So I can't wait for you guys to just stay in touch with me
Sure.
and to know what's going on with me.
Absolutely. Well, I thank you so much for your time today. This has been an excellent interview, and I can't wait for the masses to get a hold of You
You're
Never
listening
Left
to the
Me.
very best in
Thank you
gospel
so much.
music
I
on
really